The new Odyssey Square tri-hot putters are here, and they've made one significant change to the design that's going to be huge for your performance. We have Harrison Arnold coming in, do some testing, and he did really well with one specific model. He actually didn't miss. Stay tuned for the full video. Hey golfers, I'm Drew Mahowald of Second Swing Golf, joined by Harrison Arnold, Master Club Fitter for Second Swing. We're on the Minnetonka store putting green. New putters. We've got the Odyssey Square tri-hot putters. This kind of zero torque trend, Harrison, really took off the last couple of years. New series here from Odyssey. It's a couple, some significant changes here. What's your first impression though of these?
I mean, first impression is definitely the color. They've changed from that blue and white to kind of that more modern, sleek looking red and black, right?
Yep.
A little more stealth-like. Seeing that contrast between the colors definitely, from a line point of view, is going to suit a lot more eyes than not. But yeah, pretty cool looking lineup.
Yeah, you think it's almost like they're chasing a little bit of what Xander likes with his putter. It's not the exact same, but that red color is certainly prominent here. The big tech change that they did make here is that in the past Square series, the hosel actually went in behind the top line. They've moved the center of gravity forward so that the hosel can actually go in on the top line and create a more optimal kind of forward press, if you will, naturally there on each model. And then of course there's a new optimized face. They call it AI dual technology, a soft outer layer, firmer inner layer. There's some grooves on the face there too that are at an angle of 19 degrees to kind of optimize that forward roll. A lot of technology here, and it's a matter now of how that technology results in a good putting stroke. I think that's what we're going to kind of test and get your feedback on today. I also wanted to get your thoughts on the models here because there's not that many in this series versus maybe past Odyssey models. Why do you think they kind of shrunk that a little bit?
Yeah, so they've condensed it from last year's Square from I think 6 or 7 putters to now just the 3 models, right? Have some cruiser options, but they've gone for 3 of the main, they're sort of the biggest sellers, right? You got the Rossie, you got the number 7, and you got the Jailbird. All of which have been really popular on tour, been really popular with their customers. It's not surprised that they've chosen to use those 3 models.
Yeah, you think about what Odyssey putters are used, both whether it's amateurs or pros, and a lot of them nowadays, it's a Rossie, this kind of rounded mallet look. It's the 7, which has that kind of, there's extra weight there behind the heel and toe with that one, and then you have the Jailbird, which has become super popular the last couple of years. Yeah. And that one's available in kind of your more standard length or that cruiser setup. So we got a putt here, and it's kind of nice because we got putt view at the stores. Yeah. So we've got
very helpful.
The line for us here. This is, according to the graphic, we got 10.82 feet.
Okay.
So let's do some putting here. I'll have you hit each model, and we'll see what happens.
All right. I mean, I think initial thought.
Yeah.
1, it's the first part I've held all year. 2, face is very soft.
Soft, okay.
A lot softer than the previous model. I did play the other previous model in the number 7, and
you did, okay.
It does feel very different.
Interesting. Okay, so you played this. Is it the Square you played?
Yeah, I played the Square
so
number 7.
You're the perfect person to be testing these.
Yeah.
Okay, so one thought I was going to ask you about too was just how is it the look of the hosel into the top line versus behind it? Is that significantly different to you visually? Does it rattle you? What kind of does it catch your eye there?
Yeah, I mean it's definitely more comforting than having that shaft back there. I think that was their biggest barrier to entry was having that shaft behind the head, having so much of a forward press. That was a big barrier to getting a lot of people into Square. The more you can make these putters look like a regular putter, you're going to get more people playing them.
Sure.
And that's kind of what I saw in the fitting bays this year. We pull some of these out, and people look at them and go, just not.
Yeah.
For whatever reason,
it just looks so much different than the quote-unquote standard setup, the heel shafted setup, that people are like, I'm just going to go to something else that might look a little bit more appealing. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay, well, hit a couple more here. That's obviously a good first putt there.
Well, very consistent roll again.
I will say from a audio point of view, I can barely hear anything when you make contact.
Yeah, no, it feels,
like
I said, it feels very soft. I think one thing is noticeable as well, don't see as much loft on the face anymore. I think that was another barrier with the original Square. Showed quite a lot of loft. This is way better.
Right, yeah.
Way more pleasing to the eye.
I see that, yeah. Yeah, with that shaft back there, you could easily see a lot more of that.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, is it going to get there?
Oh, wow.
You got the right line.
Well, interesting enough with that one, though, felt like a horrendous putting stroke.
Really?
But actually stayed on line pretty well.
It did. It was right on line.
You know, I can't really fault that. So the technology is definitely working.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Now, so again, we'll hit the other ones. One thing, is this new? This line right on the leading edge,
Yes.
is that new this year?
Yeah, this is
kind
new
of
as
a
well.
couple lines. There's a couple, I guess, parallel to the leading edge, and there's also a perpendicular line right in the center. I think that's new. What do you think? Do you see that at address or no?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I think that having this like parallel line to kind of line up and make sure the face is actually square is a big thing. But making sure they still have that sort of small alignment line, I think that makes a big difference. If it was just one big long line, I'm not sure that's going to do too much for someone. I think you're going to have a lot of people saying, I need something to help me line up a little better, right?
Yep.
But yeah, I think that's a great addition. I know that was a option in lab to be able to do something like that.
Yeah.
So maybe it's something they've seen from there, and by adding that little bit of adding that sort of little alignment line, I think that's kind of their next step on how can we improve that.
I'll go move that ball for you.
Yeah. Might have to chip it over it.
Yeah.
There's nowhere left.
You did the same
two
thing.
in a row. Well, I think again, horrendous putting stroke. Did stay on line though.
Yeah, you're on line every time.
Yeah.
So you got that working. So I'm going to give you now. This is again a shape that you aren't used to because you've putted with the 7 in the past series.
Yep.
This is now the Rossie. So probably not something that you prefer, so to speak, but put that one down to address. Tell me what you see with that one.
Yeah, I think originally, first thoughts, I do like a more rounded shape.
Okay.
I think what we see in fitting bays is having different shapes is great because more rounded shapes, you tend to see people aim them a little bit further left. More squarer shapes, kind of like that Jailbird, people tend to aim those things a little bit further right. So I think the biggest thing out of all of these putters that we've seen so far is just, I think Odyssey are kind of just that pioneer of alignment, right?
Right.
They kind of pioneered the 2-ball to start with.
Yep.
First time anyone really did anything different from an alignment point of view. They've done the Versa, they've done the Jailbird. They've got so many different alignment options that just suit so many players, which is probably why they're the number 1 putter in golf, right? So yeah, just having this contrast of having something a little bit more round definitely helps us when we're fitting people and figuring out, okay, we need to make sure we get you walk away today with a putter that you aim straight. Okay, well, we've got this option, which could be a really good option for you. Huh?
Yeah, that's a great way of putting it. I hadn't really thought about it, but Odyssey has kind of been ahead of the curve in terms of visuals and alignment on the putter head itself. And obviously, if you look back the last decade plus, you see all kinds of different things with their series that they've released. So let's try this. This is the Rossie model. I'll move that golf ball for you again.
Yeah, I need to start hitting them. All right, I think we got one.
We curled it back in there.
All right.
Is there a feel difference between that? I know there was one putt, but
yeah, I mean, again, just that softer face really is all that was. Definitely, when I'm putting it down though, definitely, like I said, just aims a little further left to me, which is
the tendency is kind of just sets. Okay, fair enough.
Which definitely suits my eye. I mean, I use a more rounded shape now because of my tendency to aim a little further right. So, out of all the models, this probably would be the one I would be leaning more towards.
Okay. That's a good putt right there. That never left the line.
Yeah, this one feels good. Huh? It's,
I like that it says nice putt here.
I was going to say, I'm getting double compliments today.
Yeah,
That's great. Oof.
Oh yeah. Are you going to go 100% here with this one?
I think so, but this is, I mean, that was, again, one of those putts there where I felt like I really left that face open. And just having that sort of square-to-square technology is to keep that face from opening up too much, definitely make a big difference.
See, and this is fascinating because as a really, really good player that you are, the feel feedback that you get it is significant, and I think it's worth detailing that to the viewers and listeners right now. But the fact that you have that feedback and you make your putting stroke and you're like, that doesn't feel great, and then it still drops in the hole from 11 feet, I think that's good. I mean, that's
for sure.
Testament to the technology and how the feel of the putter itself, but then also the stroke that it helps you make when you feel like you're not doing it well yourself.
Yeah, for sure. And like when we talk about forgiveness all the time in our longer clubs, our drivers and woods, but we never really talk about the forgiveness in a putter, right? And I think this is what square to square and just zero torque technology has really been able to give people over the last few years is, okay, how can we actually make a putter that's forgiving for bad strokes? So like that last one felt pretty bad to me, right? And it definitely started further right, which is helpful seeing it on our putt view system today. It's confirming what I'm feeling. But yeah, for that still to kind of stay somewhat online is pretty good. Huh?
Yeah, that was all right. We got one more here. You're 3 for 3 with the Rossie.
Right. Well,
so.
no pressure then. Huh?
Yeah, this is a big one. Oh yeah.
All right.
Again, I didn't really leave the line. I mean,
No, that one actually felt pretty good. Huh?
So I think right now for you, the leader is the Rossie.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's no surprise. When I saw they came out with a more rounded shape, it was definitely on my radar. Huh?
Sure.
But definitely that just seeing less loft on the putter compared to last year's model, I think that alone is going to be a huge upgrade to fitting these putters.
Well, now I'm going to challenge you to try something completely different here. That is the Jailbird Cruiser. So we don't have the standard Jailbird today. We have the Jailbird Cruiser. I guess first of all, just kind of explain to the people the benefits for some players to use a setup like this. It's heavier, it's longer.
Yeah, sure.
You're seeing this take off a little bit on tour the last couple of years. Yeah. Why are people opting for something like this?
Yeah, for sure. I think, one, like we talked about, being heavier, putting on slower greens, having a bit more weight definitely makes a huge difference. You know, when you have something that's a little bit lighter, you feel like you have to really give it some, right? Having something that's a little bit longer, a little bit more counterbalance, it's kind of like double zero torque in a way. It's kind of doing the work for you twice.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've seen everyone kind of getting a little bit more into these. For someone who says they struggle with their speed on the greens, this is definitely an option that we always pull out to start with.
Okay.
From the Jailbird point of view, really crispy lines. You know, that's the first thing you put it down. They've had this Versa kind of Jailbird look for a couple of years. It's been very popular. But I think the contrast between this black and red is quite appealing.
Yeah.
You know,
it's definitely a little bit of a mix-up from
it's
the
less
white.
kind of distracting than like the white maybe for some people.
Yeah.
I've had that feedback before in a fitting where it's
almost too much to look at.
Exactly. So this looks a little bit more sleek.
All right, I'm going to go empty the hole here because you got so many that are in there.
Well.
Oh, that stayed right on the. Oh my!
Oh wow!
Oh, we had a little.
Oh, man, that moved about 3 times. That's good. That. Felt pretty similar to the rest of them. Just I think to my eye, this definitely looks like it aims a little further right, just because it's that bit more of a squarish shape.
Yeah.
Kind of we spoke about it, but otherwise everything felt very similar.
Yeah. It sounds similar too, right? There's not a ton of audio feedback when I hear you make contact.
Ooh,
wow!
Wow!
Look at
I mean,
the hole is catching it. That is what we've noticed with these greens over the years. Sometimes we get a lot of footsteps on them. The lines are a little. Now not perfect. Now, granted, the read is still. I mean, you've been money on the read every time.
Yeah, I mean that last one felt like us playing like PGA Tour 2K.
Right.
But yeah, felt pretty good. It's rolling pretty good, right? I mean, I'm not feeling any sort of difference off the face between all of them, which is unsurprising. But it's more so like when we're in putt fitting, it's more so, can we find you a shape that you aim really good?
Yeah.
You know, there's 3 things to be a great putter you need is speed, is your speed on the greens, how you read a putt, and then how can you start the ball in line.
Yep.
We can really dial in how you start the ball in line by finding you a putter that you aim really good.
Yeah.
So it's great that they got these 3 different options so that we can kind of dial those things in.
Yeah. There's and I like too that some of the past Odyssey series have had 7, 10, 11 models, but they've zeroed in on these 3, but they're also distinctly different enough that there's going to be an option that suits somebody. If they want the long, heavy setup, they've got the Cruiser. Otherwise, they can use the standard Jailbird.
Yeah.
Obviously, these 2 are distinctly different enough. A couple extra lines on the 7 where there's an option that probably will suit you or at least intrigue you if you're interested in this series here.
All right, well, let's see if I can go. Would that be 7 for 7?
You haven't missed in a while.
Ooh. Well, I think we talked that one into existence.
Well, I also wanted to comment. I don't know if you meant to do this, but the way if someone, I don't know if anybody picked up on this watching, the roll was end over end. There was the stripes on the ball that were rolling perfectly right from the get-go. So I think there's something to there too about just how quickly the forward roll concept of those grooves.
For sure, and I think
you saw it there.
It was kind of interesting actually because that's the first one I've missed off a line per se, right? And it's interesting that one went a little bit right.
Yeah.
Going back to kind of what I was talking about with the
you're right.
more square
The
shapes.
The natural
For
alignment.
me, that's going to make
tendency.
me move the ball a little bit right if I'm going to miss.
Sure. Well, let's end on a strong note here.
Yep, let's do that.
Curl back in there.
Ooh, well, it
Just
was
a little too firm.
Well, it was on a strong note, just a little bit too strong.
Technically, it was a strong note. It was just too strong. So that was some good testing, though, I think.
Yeah.
I think we saw, your feedback there was you liked the feel a lot. I think you really liked this Rossie. I don't know if you're going to put it in the bag or not.
I think that's going to be a damage to my wallet at some point, yes.
Damage to your wallet. All right. Well, I think, first of all, really good testing. We'll dive into it here in a second, but your quick number one takeaway just from hitting these three putters here.
Yeah. One something that has a bit of a softer face, this is going to be a great option. You're looking to get the benefits of a square-to-square zero torque. Come get in, come get fit for one of these putters.
All right, Harrison testing complete. We tested out 3 of the square-to-square tri-hot putters here. There are 4 total setups in the lineup. There's 2 different Jailbird models. We just have the Cruiser today. We've also got the Rossie and the 7. So if you were to kind of just run through the type of golfer that might be best suited to try this out and put it in the bag, one of these putters, kind of what would be your analysis there?
Yeah, so I think straight away, anyone who does struggle with their putting stroke, who maybe isn't the most confident on sort of those short to mid-range putts, I think zero torque, square to square is going to be a great option for you. Really soft face on these two, so if you're playing golf courses that have pretty quick greens, having a softer face might be a great option for you. It's important to come in and kind of get fit for one of these putters. Distinctly 3 completely different shapes here, so making sure we find you the right shape, right head model to kind of get you aimed down the right line.
Yeah, I think there's obviously a bunch of new technology here, but I think also what you had mentioned before about how the different head shapes, the rounded one, kind of tends to aim people a little bit left. The more squared mallet shapes tend to aim people a little bit more right. So thinking about that as well when you're deciding which of these models is going to be the play for you. And that's one of the cool things about getting fit at second swing is you can figure out what your tendency is, and if you tend to aim left or tend to aim right, you can get that information. So Harrison, I think. Give us your last big sort of analysis recap of the testing of all the technology here. What would you say Odyssey did well here?
Straight away, if they've moved this shaft a little bit further forward and into the head. If you didn't like the look of having more of a forward press on your square-to-square putter, I think this is going to be a great option.
Yeah, that's the big major change that they made, and I think it's going to be a really good one. So golfers, go get fit. The square-to-square tri-hot putters. I think the stamp of approval here from Harrison Arnold. Try them out, and they might be what can help you make more putts. Thank you, Harrison, for stopping by today.
Yes, sir.